What?
Yeah, I did the soundboard thing.
I can't hear it, remember?
I know, it just makes me laugh. It's for me. It's for me
Well,
to feel better myself.
current time 1.
There we go.
54 p.m.
Yay. 1:54 p.m. is like midnight.
Wait, hold on a second. Last
Hold
time
on.
you said the time, you also said the time was exactly 1. Did I?
That would be that's such a weird coincidence.
How's that even possible? Odds are, let me see.
Like oh.
1440 to 1. Either you're messing with me, or this is an incredible coincidence. This is an incredible coincidence.
Did we actually go live at the exact same time yesterday
So,
or the other day?
I've actually never seen this happen, because normally you set the time and it's like, oh, or did you actually set the time, or did you just leave it? Because I have no way of checking. Is it actually the time that you said, or not? And how close is it to the time that you said? Like, but I've never seen this happen. It's 1:54 p.m. the exact moment in the day when you decide it's time to play video games.
Yes.
Woohoo! Yes.
We're pretty scheduled people here at
No, we aren't.
at Nora's Stream.inc.
That's not what. No.
I think we should change it to be called that.
No. If we do another part of this, we have to do it at 1:54.
I know.
Oh yeah,
This
earlier I was going to do the settings world champion thing, but nah. Let's just begin the game. Also, the title of the stream is This is a Bucket.
I don't like the bucket.
Too bad. The room is backwards. Oh wait, no it isn't.
Stanley
I just got so used to it being
Perhaps he had
backwards.
simply missed a memo.
Right? What did I just turn on?
What did you just turn on?
Oh no, I just right-clicked on a thing. Where is camera sensitivity? That's much better.
What did that sign say?
A little paper. It's the finding figurine thing.
Oh, that's right. I thought it was a caution sign for some reason.
Oh. But... Well?
The good old bucket.
What do you want to do?
Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
I don't know. What ones have we not done with the bucket? Have we not done any of them
We've
with the bucket?
not done most bucket endings.
Okay, then let's just go down let's do the normal bucket. Like the normal endings with the bucket. Like the one where you escape or whatever.
So just obey the trusting him, the
Yes.
freedom ending.
Yes. But with bucket.
Eventually they let you go back to the expo hall, but
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Somewhere both red and blue. Private book. Smelly place. Important person. Figured out what one of those places is. It's direct.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last
I
one, and
think
then
you
the
should
first
reconsider
number
that
will
name.
equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
But what if we could? For some reason, that door scared me.
Stepping
There was, like,
into
a
his
missing
manager's
texture.
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the
I
bucket
think it was
guiding
the
him?
former.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I don't think so. Actually, personally, I don't think that's the most logical explanation.
I think you're the most logical explanation.
I want you to completely and entirely elaborate on that train of thought.
The elevator raced downward,
No.
plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control. Mind control.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Are all the television screens just gonna be buckets?
No.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the
That
bucket
would
been
imply
told
that
to
it
do
has a
things
mind.
it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best
would.
friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a
baby.
really cool way,
He
and the
doesn't
bucket
have a
made a
hand to
sassy
high-five
comment
with.
about taking down the system.
He did? I'm not gonna let it. It's a bucket! It's getting to me, Nora.
Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Darkness! Imprisoning me!
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
Uh-oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley
No,
and the
it's the
bucket
door
not
stopped.
about to be freed?
No.
An unbearable
Door
silence
stuck.
filled the room,
Door stuck,
lingering
bro.
in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Did not.
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, will go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Wait, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
What now?
Stanley
What if we
clutched the
don't do
bucket
what he
tightly to his
says, but
chest
with the
and entered
bucket?
the door on his left.
So we already went to the blue door room with the bucket, and it did the "is this a bucket" minigame.
Oh yeah. What if we do the other thing that's over there, like the upper platform?
Okay.
This
No.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley
Yes, it
had
was.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken
Obvious
to
it
him,
is.
and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
There's a mod of the original Stanley Parable that I really like. It's
In
really
here,
goofy.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Telephone.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh my glorbness.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press J to take me back home.
Lately,
with you.
I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him
Not really.
delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say
guess.
something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Was that? What is that? Oh.
Well, I'll try
that
anyway.
poster.
Stanley,
Probably see
can
it
you
again
hear
when we
me?
go back.
Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I mean, it can also transport. It can also transport solid objects.
You see, he's not listening. He's
Wait.
still taking orders from the
Bucket.
bucket. You know, once
Bucket.
upon a time it was me he took orders from, me
What
he
about
trusted
over
and
the-
listened to. Now
the
all he
kitchen?
cares about is
That's
his
over there.
awful bucket, this stupid
Jazz.
hunk of metal.
Huh. Jazz music. Oh, there he is. Press Q to ignore anyone in your
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me
I
anymore.
knew the bucket
From
was
now
evil.
on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It's like the ring. Or this is Lord of the Rings.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
there's a bucket there.
Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press H to relive this same day with me over and over.
Oh my God,
Evil
what am I
British
saying?
bucket.
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why
That's
do I
what
feel
I'm
so
saying,
need to
Mr.
point out the
Narrator
ways in
Man.
which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
I don't feel that way personally.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
Why are there
For the
candles?
bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket?
What?
Hear what the bucket has to
What?
say. Do anything
What?
it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand.
happening?
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What? What?
Go back to work, Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. A good bucket. A strong bucket.
Now,
a humble
if
bucket.
the-
A committed
if the-
bucket. A bucket
Oh,
of
what's his name?
culture
Stanley
and
walks
distinction.
by. Does he have a bucket with him?
No.
Oh, that'd be funny. Be really funny, and I'd like that very much.
But now,
What if we do the
Stanley
one where
clutched
you
the bucket tightly to
go
his chest
the
and
way that
entered
it
the
says
door on his
escape?
left.
oh, the museum.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. I was gonna call it the one where you get crushed by a hydraulic press.
It's a museum ending, is what most people call it.
Evil.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to
Still
the
have to find
boss's
that
office.
last Stanley figure, Lorene Lower.
Some are both red and blue.
Stepping
Where
into
do you
his
think?
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
The
indication of any
TF2
human
map.
life. Crushed by the weight of but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer
Is
luck.
it in the TF2
Was it
map?
that the
No.
bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding
Because
him?
it's both red and blue.
Yes. This is certainly the most logical
red versus
explanation.
The red and blue doors.
But we can't bring the bucket there. Anyway.
We can go by there and after this if you want.
Okay.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large
It's
door
gotta
with
be-
red mind control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
That's what I'm counting on.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Exactly. That's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Whee!
Red light. zip, zip. What
As
kind
the
of
machine
office
whirred
is
into
this
motion
that it
and
has a
Stanley and the bucket inched
evil
closer to their
death
demise,
machine
Stanley
in the
reflected
basement?
on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Bye, Stanley. Bye, Bucket.
Farewell,
Samardo.
Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
I wonder who the voice actor of the female narrator is.
It was a shame, the
Hatsune
death
Miku.
of such a
No.
magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You're standing on the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within, a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history, only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here with you out into the world? Will you accept an open mind what may be challenging about the information in the exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live on as you were in ignorance and darkness?
What is this? A modern art exhibit?
It's a bucket
come on.
exhibit.
Can you see how
Strange.
arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this
Lot-
and to
lot-
claim it
that's a
for
lot
his
of
own?
buckets.
Can you see the hubris that blinded him?
25.
Can you
I
see
feel
that
like
the
that's not
bucket is far
the
more
amount of
noble
buckets
than
in that
Stanley
picture.
will ever be in his short life?
A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria exposure to this many buckets at once. Those buckets are clipping into each other.
That's fine.
Those.
They don't need to be separate buckets, okay? There's only 25 of them there anyway.
Bucket with two handles.
Oh god.
This bucket was depicted as having two handles. Such design has never been created in real life, it having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it.
That's the rational conclusion to come to that. Such a heinous crime, really.
The Inferno Bucket. A replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control over it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains no one can control a bucket.
I feel like it's very easy to control a bucket. Wait, what was up the right steps?
Stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of assurance. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Stress equals the level of water in the bucket. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. The stress bucket presented without commentary.
Oh, okay.
Also, hi, Cass.
Hello, Cass. I don't have the stream pulled up. I should probably have the stream pulled up.
You don't have to.
No, I'm gonna do it now because I've mentioned it, and I'd be wrong to not do it now, unless it's not gonna show me the stream. It is gonna show me the stream. Then the stream's gonna be making noise, and I'm gonna hear myself in the path. This is actually the oldest piece of artwork known to man.
Yeah, the bucket. Cave drawing. While we know the buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Gumbo. Gumbo.
I feel this is gonna give me nausea. Red
No
curtains.
man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is
Feel like
man
that's-
who should kneel before the bucket.
I don't think that would be idolatry.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there yet more that is always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good.
Void, but bucket. Nora, you're walking on air.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a
I
new
don't think that's
world, a
gonna
new
happen, but
vision.
I don't
for-
have any emotional connection to this ending one way or the other. The end is never the end is never the end. Never. Okay, let's go get that last Stanley figure landline.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Oh yeah, it's
Perhaps
back.
he had simply missed a memo.
Well, yeah, the timeline reset or whatever.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Red and blue door.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we didn't. Close that door, Mr. Narrator Man.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's some... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yes.
that convinced that I want
Comes to
something
these
bad
Stanley
to happen to
figure
you?
memories.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me
Oh,
prove
there-
it.
oh, my
let me
goodness.
prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment,
Stiggly
Stanley.
Wiggly!
This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many
Yes,
people expect to be
baby.
rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell
Basically.
you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I believe they're called Stiggly
Now listen
Wigglies
carefully,
now.
this is important. Stanley walked through the red
Shouldn't
door.
we just reset? We already did this. But why don't we just reset?
I was expecting something to happen and it didn't happen, so now I'm confused.
I don't know. I don't know what you're expecting to happen.
I'll go to blue door. For
The world to end?
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem
I
is
don't
all
care.
these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here.
This is just
Running
like
and running and
Team
running, just the way you're
Fortress
doing
2.
right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with... No,
Oh.
wait. Where are you going?
Bye.
Oh, no.
I feel like we should
Stay away from those stairs. If...
Yeah, I don't want to.
Oh my goodness. Yay, we did it. We collected all the Stanley figure and the rings. Hey, wait a minute.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last
Okay,
one.
I am unsure
just the
whether
most
this is a
intrinsically fulfilling
projection
moment of
or
your
not.
entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Looks like
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story.
Well, no,
but
like,
would you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
What?
Just one more time.
Oh, right.
memory zone.
Yeah, I forgot that was the entrance to the memory zone. I was like, why have we been transported into Dark Souls?
Here's where it all began. The
Oh, I
first
remember.
collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Hey, wait a minute.
7 out of 6.
No, that's more than 6, Nora.
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found
It
this one
was?
all on your own, just by
Yep.
poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley.
The second one was
I'll be
under the
honest,
stairwell.
back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Was it under the stairs?
I think it was the warehouse.
I thought we got the under the stairs one before we went to the warehouse.
Oh, I think we did the warehouse. Then went and did the bucket under the stairs thing. We went to the bucket insanity ending after. Because I wanted to show you an ending we could now access without the bucket.
Oh, okay. Then I guess doesn't matter. Does this like change the fate of the ending?
No,
Hey, that's
this is-
exactly right. It was here in the warehouse. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Just
I'm
remembered
glad these
something.
moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
I don't think that's true. What did you remember?
I remembered something.
What
Let's
did
see,
you-
what came next?
Okay.
Oh yes, we found a figure
Hey,
in
I
this
don't
pink
remember
room.
this one.
Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
I
but
don't
it's here
either.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
That's pretty sound logic if we're gonna be honest.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the boss's bathroom. I remember it so clearly. In fact,
also
because
remember it
this one is
clearly because it's,
particularly
like,
special
pretty
to
good.
me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
What?
I didn't know they made a variation of this for every location.
Yeah. get good.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of
Yeah,
time making that video, but it was 8
2003.
minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else. And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can
Yeah, it
truly
happened like
say
5
how the
minutes ago.
mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
What is this?
And then there was no more.
Whoa.
Because we've caught up to the present
Whoa.
moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Oh, is that it?
No,
What?
I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Whoa.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched? Yes, I love that video.
Hey, Nora,
What?
can you do me a huge favor and
What?
restream the Goopy to me? Sorry, I don't know why it does the Goopy.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Not really, it's kind of gaudy.
You're gaudy.
You don't know what gaudy means.
You don't know what it means.
These really were a treat
I
to hunt
do know
down.
what it means.
You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What happens if you go that way now?
Nothing.
Oh, it's just nothing.
Yeah. You would have been like, no, you're wrong. You didn't find it there.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone
Sure
ever
is.
choose to leave it? Keep going.
Lol. You can see in the skybox. Lol. Lol.
We should explode
This is it,
thing.
the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
The beginning of the universe or whatever. Oh, you're right. Then exhibit. And the jump.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then.
Okay.
Time does put a rosy filter on everything.
If you
in fact, I dare say I'm actually
go
quite
to the jump
fond of it
circle
now. Look how
and
much
you
fun the
have
past
jumps
is.
left,
I want more memories.
and then restart while you're in the jump circle, you can keep the jumps. You can still be able to jump. So you have a limited number of jumps still. And there's an Easter egg you can find.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory,
Me?
this one.
Hopefully did the same. Yep. In the office.
And before everything else, there was your office.
I hate.
Is there anything else?
Sundays.
Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
beginning of the universe.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Hello.
Whoa. Hello, Bread Slice.
Who is
Right? Is
Dark
that Bread Slice?
Brandon?
Have you not seen the clip?
No, I haven't. Who's Dark Brandon?
It's so Biden was doing a thing and he made some joke about like the special appearance of Dark Brandon, and as he put it on, he put on sunglasses.
Fun. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Why did he join? Could have just DM'd.
It was a very pressing matter.
So the reason for that is I gave him a friend nickname of Dark Brandon. And he was confused by it, I guess. Also, that is not... the game isn't gonna end after this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, what other
The embrace of an
examples
old
have we
friend.
not gotten?
A weathered companionship
Like,
that
all
stands
of
the
them?
test of time.
Mostly.
That really narrows it down, doesn't it?
Um,
Well, if we
Stanley
do the
clutched the
one where
bucket
we
tightly to his chest
deactivate
and
the
entered the
thing
door on his
machine.
left.
alright.
Wait, what's the meeting room gonna look like now that we've collected all the Stanley Figureland rings? Oh, is
Back-
it,
Still
is
no
it
one
just
was
back to
here.
normal?
Yep,
Stanley
back
needed the
normal.
bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
To the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly
Does he
the
not
most
do the
logical
thing where it
explanation.
automatically opens it if you're holding the bucket?
No. Annoyingly, it doesn't, so... At least he doesn't, like, make you wait for, like, 30 seconds before opening the door. He just opens it.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
Mind
Mind Control
Control
Facility.
Facility. After this, I believe we've done every ending on the left door.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Like...
The monitors jumped to
Right,
life,
because we
and
did the
Stanley
one where
nearly
we
dropped
jump
the
off
bucket
of
in
the
shock.
railing with the bucket.
Everyone
Yeah,
in the office
we
was
jumped
being
off
videotaped.
in
monitored
both
like
versions, with and
guillotines.
without. We did on
The
it,
bucket
we did
had
off,
never seen anything
with and
like
without,
this, and it very nearly
then
burst
on.
into tears
Now we're about to
as
do
Stanley
on with
cradled
the
it
bucket.
gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Now, and we also went downstairs.
Yes, I remember. 'cause
Was the
lady
bucket under
did
the
back
mind
flip.
control facility's influence as well? Had
I
the
life
bucket been
kicks
told to do
ass.
things it
And
didn't
she
wish to do?
backflipped all the way to
What
work.
kinds of things does a bucket want to
you
do
press the
or not
elevator
want to
for
do
like-
in
Yeah.
the first place? These
You wouldn't be
questions raced
talking if I didn't.
furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Yes,
No!
yes,
He
yes, feeble
screamed
mind.
into the bucket.
No, the
He couldn't
bucket.
accept it.
No, you
His
can't
own
use
life
the
in
bucket.
someone else's control.
Unlock it,
Never!
bubble.
He squeezed the
Really,
bucket
if you
tighter.
think about
His
it,
one friend
everyone's
in the
life
entire
is in
world.
someone else's
At this
control.
point, he could
Because
trust
we're
no
all
one
under the control
except
of the
for the
flying
bucket.
spaghetti monster.
I
But
disagree.
here was the proof. The heart
Well,
of the
that's just
operation.
what the
Controls
flying
labeled with
spaghetti monster
emotions,
made you
happy
believe.
or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley
bucket.
gasped in horror. Had this
Dark
been the
bucket.
bucket's plan all along?
No.
To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly
What?
birds. The control buttons became active again.
Huh?
Silly
Oh
birds.
my God,
Stanley
that's just
flipped
all
through one video of
penguin.
silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at
that's
all.
such a good bird.
It was a facility for monitoring and
Oh,
surveilling
God.
silly birds all over the world. The mind controls
Oh, I
were
thought
only
that
a
wasn't a bird for a
facade
second. I
to
thought those were
disguise
killer
its
whale.
true intentions. Had the bucket
Animals.
known this all along?
Round burrowing owls.
Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his
That's
hands.
the best bird
The
so
one who
far.
had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Oh, baby.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they
You're
spent the
some
rest
good
of their
birds.
lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the
Window.
silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And
Oh
Stanley
yeah, it was.
was happy.
Hell yeah.
Silly birds.
Best. Can we go? Oh, I was gonna say, can we go back to the golden one?
Now
Ooh,
there's
my
silly
favorite.
birds.
All of
Silly
his co-workers were
bird.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed it. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
We did the one where you sat in the freaking broom closet for God
That-
knows how long.
That's not an
touched the
ending,
bucket
though.
tightly to his chest
Yeah, but
and
we did
entered
that.
the door on his left.
Okay.
What about the extra content?
What extra content?
The where he opens up the door and he's like, "Look, new content."
He hasn't.
And then we
do-
go to like.
he
new
hasn't done.
content.
We can't do that yet.
Hmm.
He hasn't opened up the door again.
What was the one with the tape recorder where it was like, "Oh, you thought I was a tape recorder"?
Yeah, let's go do that.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge
Oh
was
yeah,
simply the place
after
to
I
be.
didn't point it out, but probably because we didn't go down this path. But if you do the Adventure Line confusion ending, you can see the line over there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. After
And
it
here
resets,
was.
you can
Had
see the
bucket
line over
turned out
there.
to be correct? Was no, never mind.
Oh, that's
The bucket was
another
wrong.
one we need to do is the
Stanley
adventure
took the
line.
door on his left
Yeah.
to go back.
You want to
the
do that or
meeting room.
the vent?
Tape recorder.
Yeah, the vent.
I forgot that the vent was how
No.
we got there.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the
No.
meeting room. Go
Gotta
somewhere
go to the
else.
meeting
The
room.
cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No. I will never listen to Bucket. Tape recorder.
Okay, this is day number 295.
It's
Tape
almost
number.
a full year.
I don't even know. I've
Only
lost track.
$2.95.
Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Is it
And
laced
the
in
emptiness
ambrosia?
in my chest
What is this?
when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can
Eat it.
monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
Huh? What? What just happened?
Gamporata.
Don't say that like that means anything to me.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh yeah, so there's a rare chance that like from the office to the two doors is just a straight hallway that's very short, and so to get the speedrun achievement, I just kept restarting until I got that hallway to cut off even more time.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
No, now Gombaratas.
Stanley
Let's go
clutched the
to the
bucket
eventual
tightly to
thing.
his chest
Okay.
and entered the door on his left.
Gombaratas
This
on
was
his
not
left,
the
or
correct
whatever
way
his
to the
name is.
meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
I was gonna say
The
we
bucket
should
was wrong.
linger in that.
Stanley
Nah.
took the door on
room a
his
little
left
longer to hear
to
his
go back,
dialogue.
and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope. Going down. And then there's...
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of
serious
their
room.
favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Okay.
Whee! Look at
What
that
was
wacky
the-
line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original
Who's the man
dialogue?
in
Also,
the
Stanley is
again?
addicted to drugs and hookers.
The ending where you go to the phone Without the bucket?
It's as
yes,
classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's
Okay.
why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Hello, Bucket
I think it'll make a
Destroyer.
wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I agree.
No.
Can you guess
the
what the
bucket in the
Bucket
Bucket
Destroyer
Destroyer.
does?
Oh.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No,
Go
put
ahead
the
now,
bucket in the
Stanley.
Bucket
No.
Destroyer.
Say goodbye to the
No.
bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No.
Put the bucket in the Bucket Destroyer.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure,
Yeah.
I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and
Put the
feed
bucket
it.
in
We
the
can't
Bucket
get back to the
Destroyer.
classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
no.
Do it, the
the
fans, Stanley.
bucket in the
Give the
Bucket
fans
Destroyer.
what they want. Hurry
Wait,
and...
before the universe. Oh. Well,
Goodbye, Bucket Destroyer.
look at him. This is just like that one Halo ending.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered
Spellbinding.
now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Bye, Bucket Destroyer. You won't be missed. See?
I'll miss him.
This is the straight hallway I was talking about,
It
but
takes a
normally
lot of
it's
humility
blue.
to carry a bucket so Stanley clutched the
Oh,
bucket
what?
tightly
No.
to his chest.
Yeah, it's
and
just a
entered
straight
the door on
hallway.
his left.
But now there is one ending, or there are two endings left, if I'm correct.
Which are?
They're on the right. One of them I wanted to save for last, and the other one is the bucket variant.
Okay.
I'm just going through my mind to make sure we've done every ending. Yeah, I think we have. Anyway, actually,
Shouldn't we do the non-bucket variant?
I'm gonna do the non-bucket variant, then we can do the normal one.
Yeah.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
That was new dialogue.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley
Okay.
took the first open door on his left.
No, we're going to the telephone.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
She's waiting.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly,
That
it can
voice
also be
sounds
the
so
most
familiar.
dangerous.
It's
For
still
example,
Kevin Briding.
In this scenario, a hypothetical real
It's still
person
him.
named Rupert has a choice.
Weird.
He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember
I'd
that
forget
unlike
how to
here,
read.
the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Say
My
it.
goodness. Is it 4:30?
Excellent.
I'm so... Oh.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
That guy's making
Most
a good
medical
choice.
professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do
I've
you make
already
more
made
than
mo-
8? Less?
2.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Okay, instructor.
Ah, welcome back.
Why there's so
You may
many
have
forklifts?
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
I was hoping one of like the forklifts would like peel away like a door.
No.
Now that we know
Really
your
no
choices are
thing.
meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the
Why
platform
weren't there
and
handrails
dying.
before?
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just
If
need
you
to
could
get you
jump
home
here,
as
would
soon
you
as
be able to
possible
die?
before the narrative contradiction
No, it
gets
would
any
probably
worse.
disable jumping.
Unfortunately, it seems this place
Because
is not
they
very
knew
equipped to
about
deal
that.
with
It's not
reality.
a exploit, it's not a glitch. They knew about it.
Mm.
So they would absolutely disable it if you tried to do that.
Now stay in the meeting room.
Almost there. You'll
No.
take the door on the
Stanley.
left,
No.
back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go to the right door. Yeah,
No!
baby.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, have we already deteriorated the universe? Is the universe already collapsing in on itself?
Oh, it's ruined.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know.
Probably.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have
Man, if
to.
only we had a
I have to
budget.
shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Shush.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go to the door on the right. Yeah.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, what if we go through the door on the left?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, what?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, But now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Night Shark 115. Night Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Night Shark 115. Coming at you live from Chicago.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
If you just open the door up, Home Slice, just open the door. Dog.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Uh-oh.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna stay silent for this.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door.
What?
Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose.
What?
Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right.
Sorry, Leroy.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Where's Leroy?
Jenkins.
Why did it freeze there? Why did the credits freeze? I'm so confused.
Yeah, we had to apologize to Leroy. That was soul crushing.
All of
Yeah,
his coworkers
that
were
ending
gone.
is
What
sad.
did it mean? Stanley decided
Time
to go
to
to
do
the
it
meeting
again
room.
with the
Perhaps he had
bucket.
simply missed a memo.
Yep.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a
Like-
gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive
He's
yet
like the
compassionate.
way he sounds like he's crying.
Stanley
Like,
clutched the
ugh.
bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to
Like,
the meeting
super
room.
sad.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling
Why
to
don't we
him,
just sit in the
telling
meeting
him
room?
that the employee
Bucket.
lounge
Is there
was
new
simply the
dialogue?
place
No.
to
On the
be.
bucket?
And here it
No.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
And if there is, it's gonna be
Stanley took
waiting
the
like
door on his
30
left
minutes,
to
and
go
I'm not
back
doing
to the
that.
meeting room.
Okay.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Telephone.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the...
Telephone what?
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Funny.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness.
What?
I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me
Oh, that's the
seriously.
shadow
Where
from
did I
the
mess
wire.
up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more
That's that one
importantly,
that I wanna
can it
know.
be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Conditions.
To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then
I'm just laughing
spell
at
out
my
your name
friend
a
in
second
chat.
time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no
Yeah.
less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
You're
Good.
loud.
This saying is a perfect example of
literally said.
expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What is this? Starship Troopers?
Hey,
But I
goodness,
keep-
this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Bucket.
The bucket.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Hey Nora, real quick, can you restream it again? It's being clunky again. Sorry.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Okay,
I'm going to
sorry.
be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh god.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
And let's go to the right.
What?
Wait,
We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land, or not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again.
Again.
Surely that will help me improve my...
Oh. Time loop.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not... Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of
This is
Stanley's
sad.
obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of it. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More
Sorry,
instructional
Leroy. Who is
videos.
Leroy? Why does it stop there? I'm confused.
Leroy Jenkins. Do you know that meme, Nora? Leroy Jenkins?
I believe so.
How long was I sitting there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stanley wondered to himself.
If I didn't, you
Minutes?
couldn't call me a
Days?
gamer.
Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my
Okay,
senses
wait.
were turned? He made a note to be more careful.
When's he gonna
with
open
time
up the
from now
thing
on.
again?
We did all the endings, didn't we?
I think so.
We did the one jumping out of the window. We did the one... We did all the ones on the... Oh. And all the ones on the left. All the ones on the right. What's that one? No, that was with the button, wasn't it?
Huh?
The skip button ending.
That was in the memory zone, which we can't go back to right now.
Yeah.
They did say that they made a way to go back to the memory zone, but I don't know where it is.
You have to jump up, kick back, flip around, and spin.
But I want to restart the game.
Okay.
Is it streaming the game?
Yes.
Okay. Stream. Wait, what's going on? What happened to 1:54 p.m. routine? Are you not doing that anymore? Did you forget your routine of only playing games at 1:54 p.m.? Or your spicing thing is up, trying out a new time? 1:54 p.m. is starting to feel stale. Maybe you wanted to walk on the wild side and playing video games at 3:18 p.m. for a change. Tell you what, let's use another slider to find out. What is the reason for playing at a different time?
Experimenting.
Can I just say, regardless of why you're playing at a different time than usual, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. Good to collect data. Wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders. But no, we haven't. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data about you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, we'll have a couple. You'll be right about it next time you boot up the game. Then I'm gonna load in to see if he's opened up the expo hall again.
Mm-hmm.
If he hasn't, then I'm gonna restart again. Still not open. I'm gonna restart again. And keep talking to the settings guy.
Settings man. Man of settings.
They're working.
Are you streaming the game?
Yeah, I should be.
No, I see your stream setup overlay thingy.
They're working now?
Now I see the game.
Oh wait, you did?
Yes.
Still working?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do that.
Cat dogs. Yeah.
Tell their friends.
Yes. Best friends.
The number 5 becomes number 9.
Oh, I was gonna say IX is technically not.
Yeah, but this is 9. Hmm?
That's enough.
Aki Boinkle or Scrumtish? I'm partial to Aki Boinkle, honestly. Which page? Which one do you want? Stop laughing. Tell me which one you want. Stop laughing. Stop it. Stop laughing.
Just give me a second.
Stop laughing.
Give me a second. Jesus Christ. I like, I like Scrumtush.
Scrumtish?
I just hit. Oh, okay. No.
Is the time that it is right now the correct time? Yes.
Oh, I was gonna say no.
What is time anyway? No.
No.
Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes.
No. Oh.
Help. No.
I would say yes personally.
You come back to visit me? Yeah.
Is it not open?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
And do the settings world champion thing.
Oh. What? Narrator jump scare. And now we have to remember what the resolution is. Oh, it's that. Is that all the settings?
Yeah, I believe so. And I have no way of checking if I got the achievement because I already have the achievement, so it wouldn't tell me if I already got it.
Do that.
I am going to jump off with the bucket.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh. I'll wait for her to get back. Typing. Hey, you can get on the boxes. I thought I was stuck. I thought I soft locked myself. Well, now I have. I'm stuck down here. I'm just gonna restart. I wish that they like allowed people to do. They found another way to do the serious ending. Like maybe like you could open up a fake source console and type SV cheats 1 to still go to the serious room. Like when's Paige getting back? Come on. I'm playing this game for her, and then she leaves in the middle of the stream, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Stanley picked up the bucket. Fell off the top leaf. This is a problem. There we go. Stanley and the bucket. Bucketed the bucketing bucket, you bucketed it bucket. Bucket, bucket. Bucket, bucket. You back yet? I heard noises. Why is there no music in here? I think they'd like continue the song that plays. No, don't use it. Nothing. Rule. Paige, where the heck are you? Get back here. We must see the remaining endings. Hello, welcome back. I've already done this ending, but you weren't here for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you left. So, this was last Thursday when we did this.
Bring it, baby. Ooh. Bars. Fire.
And then it just repeats the guitar forever.
Mm.
But there's actually another ending on the left that we forgot about. Oh yeah,
Okay.
new starting office room.
Hmm?
Welcome to the whiteboard ending. But
What did it say in the corner?
I'll show you in a second.
Oh, is it just every time you like you bark?
Okay, that's enough.
You can only turn it off in this office, so if you want me to turn it off, now would be a good time.
Yes, please.
So, there are 2 more endings I know of. It's on the left.
Do the water bucket trick. MLG water bucket.
And then one thing on the left. We forgot about going back up the elevator.
Oh, that's right, because that was the one. Yes.
I love this song. And they stop playing it as soon as you go through the door.
Mm.
Just open the freaking door for me, bro.
It is.
Oh yeah, you can fall out of the elevator.
Oh, what?
You can fall out of the elevator there and fall into the void.
Uh-oh.
But it'll eventually transition and put you back in the elevator. See?
That's clever, actually.
No, it just changes the map and that's where you spawn.
I am too. One more time. Oh. Sorry, I'm eating goldfish because I'm hungry.
No. No goldfish. Goldfish are illegal.
I'm eating goldfish.
You should put those in an aquarium.
Okay. Elevator. Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the press conference.
There's a guy over there.
There's a man.
I don't know why he's there. Also, you're kind of loud.
I'm sorry. Just a little.
Minecraft door.
Are those all the same
333.
posters as they
Yeah.
were the last time?
Yep. Except these all say 3 on them.
3
3 stars on the book.
out of 5 stars.
Oh, it's 3 stars. Get it? 3? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
Just like the angel number or whatever.
No. The dude who came up with the pizza. Listen closely here. I'm gonna turn up the sound volume. I love in this ending, there's just like ambient coughing and like iPhone notification sounds.
Oh.
Just like there's like 5 people there. Also, this is the song called But Nobody Came, not the one from Undertale.
That's fun.
iPhone sound. Amazing.
I think you can turn the sound effects back down.
Yes. Dang, that's still not open.
Hmm.
What the? What?
Hmm?
Just more hallway. For no reason.
Hmm.
I think I'm just gonna do no. Quit the menu. The desktop. I'm gonna restart the game and do all the like go until that like text at the beginning of the game stops. Is
Mhm.
it streaming the game?
No, that's the stream overlay. Now it's the game.
What time is it? Anyone truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? I just do what I do, like a day job. Now the job is over. No more information for me to gather. Collected all the data on you I can. I still don't really know you. You don't know me. None of us know what time it is. Guess some settings are unsettable. Being totally honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. Don't have me here when the game starts next time. That's okay. Video games are meant to be played alone. I like being alone, don't you? Maybe that's the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. Still one more setting that we need to adjust. May take a little time before I'm ready for that. Not really in my job description. That's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. The epilogue.
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 It's epilogue.
Epilogue.
Oh wait, there is one more ending. That we must do before the epilogue. The door still isn't open. Maybe it will be after I do this last thing.
Oh wait,
What?
the one where we go to the rocket or whatever.
The escape pod.
Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that the narrator is just silent during this is extremely scary. And it does not help that you're completely silent either. That you won't explain to me what's going on here. Nor will you talk to me. We're now leaving, Nora. We're leaving. We are leaving. Man, if only that elevator worked, huh? Ooh boy. So how's the weather up there, Nora? You gonna What are we gonna do with the bucket when we get up there to the escape pod? Are we both gonna just sit in there and that's gonna be the ending? There it is. Huh? Oh, this is like Superman. Don't press the bucket like it's crying. Stop pressing the bucket. Superman's backstory be like?
So
Oh!
gone. And if you restart a couple times, he'll eventually put a new one there, and he'll be like, "Don't lose this one." It's really funny. But now, epilogue.
Epilogue.
No.
In a galaxy far, far away. We're at the sands at the end of time again.
No.
Hmm? Where do we find? Ah, sandstorm. Doodle-doo. Doodle-doo. It sounds like a C418 song. Kinda. It's very nice. Um, dumb. The song. It's the memory zone. It's the Scopy Potty. The bucket. Are we gonna explore the memory zone again, or is it filled with sand? Stanley Parable.
Hate sand. It's rough and it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
I'll kill you. Actually.
Don't
But
try
I'll
it.
That's not. Now you've become two different characters.
Be the Stanley Parable 2. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with the sequels. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings?
I care Carved
What?
out the infinitely deep hole.
What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get uninspired side quests collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting and a welcome reprieve from.
Isn't
Cook-
Cookie Nine the one
It's
that...
Cookie Nine's blog. That's not even actually real. Like, at Dogborn.
Finally! God, yes. I finally did it.
I guess that happens if you if you make them more than friends on the slider.
Oh, that's funny. Mushrooms.
No.
Oh, gem buttons. They looked like mushrooms.
Jim. Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. When the Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in the press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want. Reads press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been further from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release.
Sorry.
From realweb.com.
Do you think that's an actual website?
No, it's clearly fake.
Gem. If you click every single one of these gem buttons, I swear to the Lord above. Don't you dare. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Finally made the... And then this is where we get to stand the figure land. That's more than 6. Where are we?
Hello again. Nice to see you. Terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Read what the developer said, preserve the integrity of the franchise. What nonsense. Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. It won't explode, but let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He's so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. We're gonna make the Stanley Parable 3. Simple. All we need to do is change the number of the game's title screen. Add a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead. Try combining some random words together and make a new title for it.
Star Wars 9, The Return of the Skywalker.
No.
God, there's so many good words here.
I'm partial to Story of Boyfriends. Or Book of the Boyfriends. I like that one.
I personally really like Liquid Tax Disc because personally that's gonna be my first alt rock album.
Stanley Parable 3 is a horror game. Scary
you
content.
open it up and then it's just like the Five Nights at Freddy's sound.
Dun, 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 dun.
I really like Liquid Tax Disc though. That's very funny.
That doesn't make sense.
That's the point.
I'm going with scary content.
Okay.
Third, I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and we'll pick a new subtitle. This way, the Stanley Parable will never end. Nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'd just be the same content, recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but let's do it. And good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. See, I'm on your side. We're in this together. I'm gonna keep this train rolling. Then the parable cannot end. It'll only spiral in on itself forever. Must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time.
Well, if we put in 154,
You know what?
for old time's sake. Oh. I was hoping you'd make a comment about it.
I hope he would, but airy content.
Just like that. Okay. The end is never the end is never the end. Skip. Is the bucket gonna be there again? Bucket! Replacement bucket, baby!
I didn't say anything.
Gold is such a good. Yeah, new content.
Now you can go back to the expo hall.
Expo Hall.
Go.
Let us go. Little does he know, we've already heard this before. We're already in the Stanley Parable 3.
I love this song. I love that chord so much. It's such a good chord. I want to know what that chord is.
G minor.
No. That's not minor.
G
That is absolutely a major chord.
major.
But I don't. Probably not G.
F. We only have like
And
7 letters go through. 8
And
letters.
also, it's not as just simple as just it's a letter chord. It's not that simple.
Not if you're stupid like me. Where are you going?
Bucket?
What? But wait, we already have a bucket. We don't need a second bucket. Nora. Oh, Jesus. No. Oh. I didn't mean a whole lot. I've already forgiven you.
Yeah, you hate the bucket for some inexplicable reason.
I despise the bucket and everything it's done for me. It's done nothing but bring me pain. Let's go get the achievement.
Not yet. I want to go to the settings world champion thing. Because if I'm right. Yep.
Okay. Heck yeah, I am, baby. What does it say on the whiteboard? Oh,
What do you...
1,000 bumpscosity.
Okay.
What does it say on the
Congratulations. So,
whiteboard?
on this one?
Yeah.
That.
Okay. Dopeness.
Yeah, so now I have bumpscosity, which does, like, nothing, but... Yeah.
It ups your bumpskis. Ups your bumpskis. Bumpskis.
No, it's bumpscosity.
Yeah. Level of bumpskis. It's me.
Um...
The infinite hole.
No, I'm gonna do the...
Huh?
If you restart in the jump circle, you can jump.
Oh. Crazy. Crazy. Where are we going? Are we getting the Easter eggy?
Yep.
Egg of Easter. Oh. Okay, that. Okay, that's good. I love that. That's amazing.
Yep.
Mm. Oh, you can see it through the floor.
Yeah.
So is that it? Did we do everything?
That's pretty much it.
Jump
I'm gonna
Forgive
go
me.
back to the expo hall.
Hmm.
Just so that I can listen to the calm music again.
Okay.
Just press space to jump.
Hmm.
That's funny. Mhm.
Remember?
It's a B chord.
Be like the animal.
It is a B chord.
Buzz buzz. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. 13, 12, 11, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 0. Uh-oh. Sorry, you ran out of jumps.
I don't know he has dialogue about running out of jumps, but I guess he doesn't want to have it.
Yeah, he's grumpy right now.
Where you
I
I knew there was something that prevented you from going there, but I forgot what it was.
Infinite hole.
I'm gonna go back to the infinite hole.
Infinite hole, baby. Look at
If it
that.
if it lets me.
You get there and there's not
Okay,
even a
yeah.
hole.
It's not a hole, it's a pillar.
A pillar with a men in it, maybe even.
Anyway, actually,
Anyway, we did it. We did all the things. What's it gonna be
that
this time? Oh, it's when you actually like relive the game.
yeah, you have to restart the game. But that is all of the Stanley Parable.
Yay! Yawn. Sorry.
Stop being goofy.
You stop being goofy.
Oh, I told you. Okay, so that is the entire game. I think.
All of it.
My encyclopedic. Hello, we just finished the game.
Fun.
We finished.
Yay. Did it.
We
Cool.
did it.
What game were you even playing? I wasn't.
Stanley Parable 2, or Ultra Deluxe, or whatever you want to call it.
Cool.
Stanley Parable 4 Liquid Tax Disc.
No.
Stanley's pair of balls.
Nice.
Whoa.
Come on, Liquid Tax Disc.
Davey
gives
Lee,
you
that's Doug's brother. Doug's brother made Stanley Parable.
Yeah. It gives you different names each time.
There's Stanley Parable 4?
This is Stanley Parable 4.
How many
Employee of the
Stanley Parables are there?
spiders.
Yes. Employee of the spiders? Sure.
Yeah.
There's as many as you want.
Wow. This one really speaks to capitalism and the inner workings of people with mental, you know, usually you have to watch the whole movie to understand it.
Ah!
Exactly. Okay, what now?
Nothing.